All right, I want to go ahead and get. You know, it helps if the microphone is pointed towards me. There you go. I need to tighten that. Anyway, welcome back to this Jack. I want to go ahead and get this ball rolling. I was going to sit on that screen for a little bit, but I'm like, I got a D&D game in like less than an hour. You know, let's go ahead and get this rolling. Ugh. Hope everybody's doing okay. I am slightly stalling for time. Um, Anime-wise, there's not too much going on that's been crazy that we should talk about. Um, There is something that happened in Jujutsu Kaisen, but I refuse to talk about that because they gave this channel a copyright strike. But I will say a character returned that we were looking for. I was looking forward to, and no, it's not Gojo. Um, that's as much as I'm gonna say. Much as I'm gonna cover it. So don't ask about Jujutsu Kaisen. You won't get any more answers than that. One, I hate the final arc, and two, they gave this channel a copyright strike. I am also not a fan of what. In case you missed it, I think I went on a rant about this already. I am not a fan of how My Hero Academia ended. Hang on, I'm putting up the spoilers tab. If you see the spoilers tab up, that means I'm talking about spoilers. You can watch. You can mute me until that's over. All right. So My Hero Academia ended with Deku losing his powers. Perfectly fine with that. He had a 9 to 5 job. People are like, "Oh, he's working at McDonald's." Yuck, yuck, yuck. No, he became a teacher at UA. And the reason why Americans like view that as an insult is because we don't treat our teachers right. No, in Japan, that's a highly respected job, and he's at one of the top schools in the country. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine for somebody who was not able to be here anymore. Great fallback position, and it's a good job for him. He knows how to teach. Um, and mind you, he does end up getting like an Iron Man suit similar to the one that All Might used, and but it has all the powers of Class 1A or most of them. So he's much more powerful than he's ever been. And it was put together by his friends. Now, in the original translation, everybody thought is that his friends like kind of ignored him up until like had been ignoring him, like they hadn't been able to hang out in the last 8 years, and that's not true. Like and when they retranslated, it's like they spent as much time together as they could, reasonably could, because they're all busy superheroes. I don't remember who they said was number one. I think they said it was Todoroki, but or Bakugo, one of the two, because of course. Um, and I'm cool with that. Like I'm more okay with that translation. Like if it stayed the other way, I would have been really pissed off because like he was friends with all of them. Like they only were able to be as successful as they were because of him. So then, but no, that's not how it worked out. What got me, the story arc that they let drop that pissed me off, and I hope they do another epilogue to address it or just offhand mention it. Him and Uraraka, aka Uravity. Like that was a sub arc since episode 3 about their relationship together, like her liking him, her wanting to be with him, and the only thing holding him back is his vision of being a hero. Well, now that he's no longer a hero, he's free to be with her and all that stuff, and they don't say a damn thing about it. The only hint that they're kind of together is she's wearing part of his costume in her costume now, so that might be kind of like, hey, yeah, they may be together, they may be dating, which is a really long time to be dating, is 8 years, or they may straight up be married at this point. Who the fuck knows? Um, but I really do hope they address it in some way because there's talk about there being a sequel series, but I'm like, what can you really do to follow it up that won't take away from this series? I don't know, but I do hope that's addressed because that does bother me. All right, okay, I can take away spoilers now. All right, there's a couple of other anime things I wanted to talk about. This doesn't require spoilers, so unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple months. So Gear 5 with Luffy. I wanted to talk about that because I'll probably do a more in-depth video about it. Because there's like a couple features about it people forget. Like one, he does have cartoon physics, so I don't think he can actually kill people with his powers. Like he is incapable of killing them no matter how much he hits them. as long as they're within his field of influence. Once they go out of it, they can die. So that's why I think Kaido could be dead. Um, but that's like how Kizaru was able to survive getting his ass stomped by Luffy. Is because once you're in his field of influence, you're treated like a cartoon character. So you could call that a disadvantage if you want. Mind you, he doesn't want to kill anyone anyway. And one of the other things is right now he's not really in control of his gear 6 or yeah gear 5 form. He kind of just goes wild with it, which is kind of like the nature of his devil fruit anyway. So I do now. Here's the note, and one of the notes about that power that people forget. They're like, he spends all of his time laughing, like that like in playing around. Why, that's going to weaken him. Actually, it's quite the reverse. He's someone described it. He's like the reverse of the Hulk. The more he laughs, the more powerful he gets. Actually, so the longer the fight, the more powerful he is. The only problem is he currently has a time limit because he can only hold it for so long. So that's worth mentioning. Now, I said all that to get to this part. I think there's going to be a Gear 6. Now, some of you are like, shut the fuck up. No, there's going to be a Gear 6. One, I feel like Gear 5 is a placeholder until he masters it and creates a new version that combines like Gear 4 and somewhat Gear 4, or probably more likely Gear 4 Snake Man with Gear 5. That's what I'm thinking. Because if we can see with his Gear 5, he doesn't use hockey. It's not built into how he fights. But if he starts adding in hockey and like his weird manipulation of it, it's going to be insanely scary. He's going to create a Gear 6 from it. And not to mention, there's an additional note that came up. This is slightly spoilers, but it's only been mentioned in the Verve cards. The Verve cards are like, it's not been mentioned in the manga itself. It's like data that's released on characters within the manga. And it is Mihawks. So, from our understanding up till this point, there are 3 Haki. Only 3. Armament, Observation, Emperor's Haki, or King's Haki. Color of the King. Armament Haki makes you able to hurt a Devil Fruit user through their defenses. Even if they just become incorporeal, you're still able to hit them, and it makes your hits harder, stronger, all that good stuff. Observation allows you to see and react to things you shouldn't be able to. It also allows you to see the future, as shown with Katakuri. Katakurai, or how the fuck you say his name? I'm butchering it. And if in the Emperor's Haki, originally we only thought of it as it knocks out people who are weaker than you, in commanding presence over people. But we also discovered it can augment the other Hakis to some degree. With Armament Haki, it just makes it more powerful. It's like straight up just more powerful. And then with Observation Haki, you can use what's known as future sight killing, or something like that. Shanks does that to Katakuri, because like Katakuri's, I can't see you in my predictions, like because I'm not letting you. So there's that. So I said all that to get to this. There's a 4th, and it's so rare. There are only 2 known people who have it. That's been revealed. Mihawk's one of them, of course. He has what's known as God Haki. I'm not joking. They're calling it God Haki. And the second person is, I want y'all to take a minute. Do 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 do. Dragon. Monkey D. Dragon. Luffy's dad has it. The 2 most dangerous people who are not Yonko. In fact, Dragon is arguably more dangerous to the world government than the Cross Guild is. And the reason why is because the Cross Guild is only targeting the Marines because they're a threat to them. Whereas the Revolutionary Army is like, no, we're overthrowing everything. We're killing the Elders, everything. Or overthrowing the Elders. They may not kill them. Celestial Dragons, specifically. So, they're a direct threat to Imu. So, we don't know what Emperor's Haki is. It has not, or sorry, God Haki is. We haven't seen it. It hasn't done anything. But the fact that Mihawk has it suggests that it's possible he doesn't have Emperor's Haki, because God Haki might be its placeholder. Like if you have that, you don't have Emperor's Haki because you're above that, or you might be able to have all 4. And that's arguably why he's able to keep up with Shanks, because everybody's like, Shanks, like everything we've seen from Shanks, how the fuck is Mihawk keeping up with him? And then you see why. If he has this God Haki, that's why. And it might be why Zoro may never actually beat him. Although I doubt that's the case. They may actually never get their sequel fight. And I say that purely because Um, I say that purely because I can totally imagine him dying before that happens. It's not? Oh shit, yeah. Hang on. Thanks for the heads up. Let me fix that. Hang on. I didn't realize somebody had been pinging me. There it goes. I am so fucking sorry about that. Thank you for doing that. Have you seen the Jake? Is that brand new? I haven't seen it. Thankfully, I got my phone right here that also keeps track of chat for me. I am so fucking sorry, Bangle. Thanks for letting me know. Also, hi, Gothic. Also, hi, Bangle. Bangle, I didn't get a chance to, but would you mind dropping a link to the stream in the channel real fast? I'd appreciate it. No, I haven't seen anything about Jake the Viking, but I do know he's tied to the Mr. Beast thing. Like it's, I think it's his cousin that was known as Denver, who was a known PDF file. Which calling it a PDF file feels weird because the F in PDF is file. Yeah, no, I appreciate you letting me know. Doing your job as a mod means a lot to me. I'm just glad my audio is going through, because you know how many streams I've done where I've been like 30 minutes into a stream and I realized that no one can hear me? I've done that before. Like every content creator has done that before. Like I have one friend who went 2 hours into a stream, wasn't paying attention to chat because he didn't have a second monitor, and then he finally like looks at his phone because like me, he keeps his phone up so he can see the chat, and they go, "You've been muted this whole time." It's like so fucking pissed. It was hilarious. I love it. I also hate it because it was a good stream. Like he was like watching his facial expressions, he was killing it. Gothic, you gonna be ready for the tabletop game? Yes, yes, I heard about that. I heard about that. Hey, Amber. Heard about that part. That was actually mentioned in the second. Okay, cool. It was mentioned in the second video that was released that it was like offhand mentioned that Jake the Viking knew. And the reason why is because I've actually played Internet Anarchist and I forget his name. Another content creator talking about it. Yeah. Yeah, he played himself. The only thing Jake the Viking can get away with if he wants to protect himself in this, and he'll still be socially ostracized from it, is that if he plays it up, I was not in a position to do anything about it. Also, that one, I'm not in a position to do anything, and two, I forget the word I'm looking for. Oh, and two, Ava Chris Tyson had so much influence or control over what's going on that they couldn't do anything. Yeah. For those who haven't been paying attention, Mr. Beast is under a lot of fire. It started with Ava Chris Tyson, their friend who's trans, coming out that they may have been a groomer. I say may because legal reasons, but it's pretty much been confirmed at this point. And then so people started digging into that, and then somebody came out with a lot of Mr. Beast like spoilers. Like the first video you can wash over if you want. It gives you details you might like. Yeah, allegedly. I have to throw out the word allegedly. It shows a lot of allegations that Mr. Beast fakes his videos, which you're like, all right, whatever. He still does good charity stuff. Then the second video dropped. It reveals that a lot of the charity stuff he does is a lie. I don't know who that is. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, let's not talk. Yeah, thank you for spelling it that way. I don't want to dox anybody. Anyway, so the second video like goes into like more behind the scenes stuff. How Mr. Beast may be borderline sociopathic, because like one example is one of the people, because I've talked about this on my other channel, so I'm playing the catch up for anybody watching who doesn't normally listen to me. So the was it 100 days in solitary for 30 days in, yeah, he's cooked. 30 days in solitary confinement video that was released. There was an earlier one that was filmed, but it was so fucking messed up that they couldn't use it. And like you have to watch the interview. Like the dude is damn near crying, has PTSD from this shit. Like it was fucked. And like the one that, yeah, Josh, yeah, Weedle. The part I'm going to talk about with that is like beyond the fact that they weren't dimming and lowering the lights, because that I've dealt with that. You don't sleep well. I already don't. That's probably part of the reason why I don't sleep well anymore. And two, they tried to make him run a marathon. You don't understand what it's like to run a marathon, even if you're in good shape and have trained for it. You don't know what it's like. Your body starts shutting down after like the 20th mile because it's like 22.6 or something ridiculous. And they tried to make this guy who has never trained in his life do it. Yeah. The only advantage he had is he didn't have to do it straight. He could stop, but that doesn't mean shit. Your body starts going, nope, you ain't doing this anymore. So they tried to make him do that. And he got pretty far, apparently, but his body just started falling apart. And this is after, like, days of sleep deprivation. So, like, and then after all this, when he finally gave up and quit before the 30 days is up, one, they didn't give him all the money they promised. Two, like he describes Mr. Beast as being like a supervillain. He's got his back to him. Was like, hang on, I'll do this camera. He was like this to him, while everybody was just checking if he's okay. And then he turns around, does the fake sympathy thing. It's like, I just want to make sure you're okay. Your well-being is important, because we don't want you to. And Weedle describes like you heard the word Sue come out of his mouth. By the way, in case anyone doesn't know, on my Jack Datalist stream, this is what I use for me gently caressing the fourth wall. That's what Trickster, one of my regulars who described it from the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Oh, speaking of that, like one of the other things they covered, hey Trix, I literally just said your name! How the fuck did you do that? I love it. That was funny. Anyway, one of the other allegations is he regularly, like when people win prizes in things, it actually goes to people he directly knows. In fact, there's one guy who apparently wins a lot, even if he like is out as the first person in a contest, he'll like win a car and shit. Yeah, we're talking about serious stuff too. I was talking about this camera, and I was explaining how you described it as gently caressing the fourth wall. Yeah, a lot of the things were rigged, or like an example when they were like out to sea on a raft, like he straight up reveals no, they were on a yacht most of that, and he like called it out. So yeah, there's a third video in the works. Then it talks more about SA stuff. It may have actually come out today, which is why Bangel's talking about it. So like, I'll probably cover this a bit more in depth. I'll probably only talk about it in stream because I don't want to make a video. Mr. Beast content, a lot of his contests. Because I probably won't watch his actual video. I'll probably watch what Internet Anarchist covers about it, because he does a good job with it. Now, in case anyone's wondering, I'm actually watching one of the lawyer channels I follow. Weedle will not be able. His name's not Josh. Weedle will not be able to sue at all. It's because the statute of limitations has run out. Although I'm arguing there's a chance that COVID may have extended it. I don't watch Law by Mike. Although I may. No, Legal Eagle is one of them I sometimes watch because he's entertaining. I forget her name of who I watch, but I've watched her videos like 15 times in a row. Mostly I watch him when she's covering like anything involving Logan Paul, because I like to see him get burned. And who's the other one I watch? I'm just going through my history right now on YouTube. Who's the other one I watch? Legal Bites. That's the other one. I'll take a look at it. Mic check. How you doing, League? How you doing, Trickster? Mic check, sat. Now let's talk about something positive. Like, we're talking about the Mr. Beast stuff, and it's just ugh. So all the Monster Hunter videos have come out, and I'm really excited. Like, I can't describe it any other way. I'm excited. I am like so fucking excited. Like, the game looks like how I've always envisioned a Monster Hunter game being. The only thing that's missing is I would love a punching weapon, but they're not doing a new weapon in this one that we know of. We're talking about Monster Hunter Wilds. There's something positive right there. No. I said on my other stream, I don't know if you were there for it. I'm not touching it. I refuse to. This company put out a list of policies on what the content creators are required to follow to make content with it, and it fucking offended me because like a majority of the things on there is things I do. Oh no, I love the Monkey King stories. Mind you, it's not Souls-like. It's actually more God of War adjacent. From everything I've seen about it, it's more God of War adjacent. And because of slight protest, I won't be playing it on my own. Now other people can play it. I don't care. But they're like, oh, I've heard a lot of them. Like some of my friends have watched it and they've told me one or two scenes, and I'm like, yeah. Like the one they specifically said is somebody's told specifically not to do something, and then through doing the thing that they needed to do, where they don't do the thing. I think so. I think I dropped it at one point. Let me look. No, I don't. I don't see it. Was it under announcements? I did it. Yeah, I did it under announcements. But yeah, I'll go ahead and pull it up for those who haven't seen it before to get a good look at. Ah, fuck. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about then. All right. For those who don't follow my channels normally or doesn't watch my Jack Daedalus stream, notice by using the game key, mind you, technically this is not. I would not be upheld into it because they didn't give me a game key. I bought it on my own. I would be buying it on my own, but I'm spiteful. By using the game key and creating content, you acknowledge that because it says and, not and or, that you have been informed of the following content and your statements are not related to the marketing team. Enjoy the game. That's the do's. Don't. Do not insult. Do not insult other influencers or players. I'm cool with that. Do not use any offensive language and humor. Dark humor is like food. Not everybody gets it. I'm a veteran. I make dark humor. Do not include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda, that one pissed me off, fetishization, and other content that instigate negative disorders. Half those things I talk about normally. Yeah. Do not use trigger words such as quarantine or isolation or COVID-19. Go fuck yourself. I'd be more compelled to talk about it now. Do not discuss content related to China's game industry, policies, opinion, news, and etc. Here you go. Now I'm going to talk more about it. Yeah. That's what they did. And that's why I won't do it. I won't even touch it. No, I agree. Especially with the Monkey King, because the Monkey King. So, do you guys not know the story of the goddamn Monkey King? He's a fucking he was a normal monkey who spit in all the gods' faces. He made himself the equivalent of a god and kicked all of their asses. They couldn't do a damn thing about him. It took Buddha to throw him underneath a mountain. Oh, do it. It's a great fucking game. There's a VR mod for it. He was a trickster. He loved to fuck around. I do want to show you all this real fast. It's on Epic Games. In case anyone cares, so every week you can get a new game, at least one new game on Epic that's free, and you get to keep it indefinitely. For this week, you do get the Callisto Protocol. I don't care about what the other game is, but the Callisto Protocol is actually a lot of fun. It got a lot of shit, but it was really good. Yep. So I would recommend, if you have a PC and you kind of want a semi-horror game that's close to Dead Space, Callisto Protocol is pretty good. They've also done like a roguelike side to it that's kind of fun. I dicked around with that a little bit. And then if you want to know, you get the Fallout collection next Thursday because they come out every Thursday. This one will include Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics. What are you asking? Because I got a lot of thoughts on it. I hope they do a real remake of it. Not just this fucking remaster they did, which looked like garbage. Kind of like how they treated Grand Theft Auto 3. And there's talk about their... And there's talk about them doing another prequel or a straight-up sequel. I don't know. Like, I really don't know what you can do because the time frame for Cowboys is very finite for it to be a good story. The only thing I could think of is if you do it in the time frame of the Civil War and have fun with it there. Because don't forget, that's when Jonah Hex happened. Dutch backstory. I don't care about Dutch. We roughly see his backstory in number 2, which is actually a prequel. Sorry, I've been running around all day and I didn't sleep well. Hey, buddy. Sorry, Zane's wanting attention. Alright. I don't got much more in this stream because I gotta get ready for a Fallout D&D game. This was just meant to be a quick one. I want to try being consistent and just randomly stream on Thursdays. Since I don't stream on my other channel on this day, and it just gives me a chance to pop in for 30 minutes, just talk about geek stuff. Feel free to come in here and vibe with me as I rant about geek stuff. I do got this. Hang on, I want to show you all something. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to do it right because of my filters I've got going. I'll make a video about it, but there's a thing about silence that's kind of interesting. Trickster, you might like this. There's 2 different types of silence. Whenever they record something, they have to record empty noise in the scene. Reason for it. Because if you just... It feels completely different than if I left the mic unmuted and just stopped talking. So, and that's just an interesting concept. So, it's a bit of movie magic. I thought it was interesting. I learned that when I was going to school for film stuff. Might go back to PCC, which is the school near me, and see about getting some editing. Yep. I've got a game, and then I don't know if I'll be able to sleep. Hey, I'm glad you swung by. Nothing else, I love your company, and even more so, it helps out the channel. It means a lot to me. So, anyway, appreciate it by being here. See you on the next one.